Hello and welcome to a Lega Corsa Sim Racing League. You're joining us for the opening race of our new Thursday Championship, this week being held at the Nurburgring on the GT layout. This season will feature 10 50-minute races with mandatory pit stops, the grid set by a single 12-minute qualifying session, and we will be racing an old Lega favourite, the Formula Agile. A relatively small and lightweight pocket rocket, this punchy little open wheeler is hiding 365 horses in the back, delivered straight to the ultra grippy slick tyres. It's a great little machine that can take quite a bit of punishment to boot. We've a grid of 20 drivers raring to go, who I'll shortly introduce you to, but first let's go over to our favourite trespasser, Quiet Billy the cameraman. Where are you today, Billy? He's in position overwatching the chicane out of the back straight, leading into the final turn. Is that a crane? Please don't tell me you're thinking of climbing that, Billy. And with introductions out of the way, let's go down to the grid. With an immense qualifying lap, our first pole of the season goes to Lega Corsa in the 2020 Red Bull livery. P2 is last for Gent Drivers Europe. In P3, for newly formed team Tasty Twosome, is Jax running the Butterscotch Angel Delight livery. Behind him, suited and booted in his fancy red pattern car, though not looking too happy about it, Oscar in P4. It's an all street rats third row as teammates Grimbor and Yanni line up alongside each other, P5 going to the Cookie Monster car of Grimbor and P6 to the Kermit car of Yanni. In 7th we have Sai for Dinner's Ready team, followed by Petri in P8, teammate to Oscar. In 9th for the Gecko Tracks inspired team it's Philip, and alongside him in 10th we have Saki in a classic 90s livery. Behind them we have newcomer Mark Stevens making his Lega debut, starting well in 11th, and 12th is Simone in the all too recognisable Lotus livery of the 80s. 13th for Gen Drivers Canada we have Miles, and Joe in the Strawberry Angel Delight car qualifying in 14th. He'll be kindly taking a pit lane start due to intermittent ping issue. 15th sees Gus in the Gecko Tracks car alongside Ben in 16th. He's making his debut this week. Stuart starts in 17th, teammate to Sai, and 18th we have Jason Greenfield. On the back row of the grid, both choosing to forego qualifying, is Tom in 19th and Matthew in 20th. They'll be taking on the last to first challenge simply because they can. That wraps up the grid order, the lights are now on and it's time to put the rubber down. And we are off the line for round 1, and Yanni gets a really nice start already alongside his teammate and challenging Oscar now for P4 down towards turn 1. Jan, Lars, Jax and Yanni throws it around the outside and makes it stick for P4. Grimbor and Sai go head to head, Philip and Petri fighting too throughout turn 3. Matthew already making up several places, gets alongside another overtake on Mark Stevens there. Petri runs wide onto the slippery tarmac, rejoins in amongst Miles and Gus in 15th. Matthew side by side with Simone towards turn 5, and that's someone in the gravel, and it's Jason Greenfield running off there. Down into Dunlop, the sweeping right hairpin leading onto the Schumacher S's. Ben runs a little wide as off goes the cars of Stuart and Joe. Possible contact there. Some replays of the start for you. Here we are on board with Yanni from P6 with an excellent start. Gets the power down well, nails the upshifts, and before you know it he's levelling Oscar into turn 1. And he gets the move done. Here we see Ben with a really good start, great traction off the line, gets alongside and past Gus. On board with Simone with a lovely dive past Mark into turn 1, almost collects Saki but avoids a collision and keeps the place. And look at this, Philip in P9 absolutely sends it from last week, gets past Petri and alongside Sai. This angle shows just how far back he was, straight down the outside, 3 wide with Petri trying it on the inside as well. Well defended from Sai, Philip snatches P8. A move coming from Matthew as he gets alongside Simone, and Simone manages to defend quite well but can't quite hang it out. Matthew gets the place. Into the second lap then is Jan Sakura leading from pole, followed by Lars Mars, then Jax, Yanni. Oscar thinks about a move too far back, Grimbor P6, Sai 8th, Philip and Matthew rounding out the top 10 already. And a car in the pits there, it looks like Ben with a possible drive-through penalty. Thomas with a good run on Simone towards turn 5, a fantastic Godzilla themed Haas livery. And that's Simone running wide, just gets into the dirty air, loses front downforce, rejoins under pressure from Mark in 14th. A battle shaping up for P7 between Si and Matthew behind Grimbor here, and Grimbor is off at the chicane, caught out by the curb it seems. And at the same time as that, this is how Yanni got past Jax up into the podium positions, clips the curb far too much, unsettles the car, and Yanni swoops in. Here heading down towards Dunlop, a battle unfolding for P12. Saki gets a great slipstream off Miles, takes the inside line into the corner and seals the deal. Out of turn 2, Jason and Joe side by side. Jason goes for the inside line and takes it away. Matthew coming up on Lars now, a fight for P2 getting underway as Matthew has to back out, just sticks behind Lars, and Lars goes round. Loses grip under acceleration there, very easily done in these cars, especially there. He picks himself up, dusts himself off and lives to fight another day in P5. Waved yellow somewhere on the track, and that's Jan Sikora, the race leader. He's off into the gravel at the final corner. Crawls his way back onto the track, and that's a lot of lost time there, and dirty tyres now as well. And unfortunately, the leader of the race is gone now. He's now under pressure from Oscar down towards T1. Oscar making gains. Looks like he's going to dive to the inside. He goes for it, and they are side by side. But somehow Jan manages to hold on to that one. Yeah, and that's how it happened. Just gets up onto that outside curb, which acts like a rail, and sends him skateboarding off. Lap number 8, and Lars is all over the rear wing of Jax, trying to sniff out a spot to make a lunge. Goes for it on the inside of turn 3. Runs wide there onto the dirty edges of the track, giving Jax an opportunity to come back at him. Jax goes for the wider line, but manages to get past again. But it's not over. Down towards Dunlop, Lars gets a lovely toe, makes a move for the outside. It's a very good effort there, but he can't quite make it round and slots back in behind, up towards the Schumacher S's. A lot of dirty air makes it difficult to stay glued to your rivals through here, but he's still on him. Quiet Billy watches from above. I wonder if there'll be a move onto the main straight. Here we go, another great helping of slipstream behind Jax gives Lars the momentum to make a clean pass before they've even reached the braking zone, and that's nice work from Lars to get by. Nice dueling there. Again into Dunlop, seems to be the place to go for a lunge. Thomas round the outside of Oscar, finds a grip perfectly, makes the move stick and takes a position. Quiet Billy from his perch watching on as Lars goes onto the grass at the chicane. Jax goes through once more. And nearly contact there as Jan Sikora nearly gets past. The end of lap 10 then, and the grid order is as you see on your screen. First Matthew Williams, second Yanni, third Jax, Lars in fourth, just behind him Jan Sikora in fifth, Thomas in sixth, Oscar, Si, Philip and Petri rounding out the top 10. And a few retirements, that's Jason, Saki and Stewart. Pulling the trigger is Jax diving into the pits from P3 on lap 12, going for the undercut on Yanni. Here comes Petri behind Philip as he goes to the outside for the chicane. Philip stays ahead. No, he doesn't. He runs slightly wide on exit and Petri is through for a net P9. Yanni now being chased by Jan, and what a great recovery so far after the earlier off to fight for P2 here. Gets to the inside for turn 5, and that's a solid clean overtake for P2. Excellent job. We see Jax now exiting the pits again. He's just served the drive-through penalty for speeding in the pits. And we've just had confirmation he didn't get new tyres on his stop. He's either going to the end or forgotten to update his strategy. You can see now Matthew pitting from the lead. He emerges P3 just behind Lars and Tom. Jan also pits, which is why he's disappeared from this little pack at the front. Oscar and Grimble also in the pits this lap. Coming down off the main straight into turn 1, and Matthew retakes P1. Clear pace advantage on the fresh rubber. And Jan serves a drive-through penalty for pit lane speeding from the earlier stop. That's such a shame. He's going to lose that P2. Simone and Mark pit in sync. Simone gets away first, Mark with a slightly longer stop. Lars pits from P2. It's going to be tight between him and Yanni on the exit. He keeps P2 very well timed from Lars to pull that off and maintain the overcut. Lap 19 now, and that's Philip going for a spin, lighting up the rear as he comes out of turn 3. Not the first time we've seen it happen there. Gets himself pointing the right way and rejoins safely, getting off the racing line and out of the way of the faster moving car of Petri. Here comes Joe through the chicane. He's been chasing down Ben for a little while now. Round the final turn onto the main straight, Ben makes a mistake there and Joe goes through, upper place for the pit lane starter. And after his pit stop, we've got Tom going to the inside of Yanni for turn 1. Tiny lock up there, but secures himself a podium position for now. And the order as we come across the start-finish straight at the end of lap 20 is P1, Matthew, P2, Lars, 3rd, Tom, 4th is Yanni, 5th, Oscar, Jan in 6th, Sai in 7th, Jax in P8, P9, Petri, and P10, Philip. And I've got to look at this again. Look at this save from Oscar. I just saw it in the background. On the back straight, Petri attacking Jax. Pulls alongside to get the inside line for the chicane, taking a leaf out of Philip's book, but he plays it safe and eases off, allowing Jax to keep the optimal line and his position for now. Petri dives to the inside line into turn 3, a proven overtaking spot today, and completes the move off screen there. The lack of fresh tyres for Jax really starting to hurt him here as he plummets further down the order. Philip now all over him. He has a look into turn 3, not quite. Philip glued right to Jax's tail through Dunlop, gets a good exit. Goes to the inside there, showing himself in Jax's mirrors, hoping to force a mistake, maybe test the grip there, sizing up an overtake. He gets close through the final corner, possibly for a move on the straight, but he gets a little slide there, and that'll cost him down the straight now. Here we go again, Philip takes to the inside for the chicane. Whoa, how did they make it without contact there? Brilliant move from Philip. On board with Oscar, Jan goes to the outside at Dunlop, slots back in behind. Very close now, this battle for P5 on the final lap. Will Jan be able to make a move? Across the line comes Matthew to take the checker flag. What a race from the back. Still fighting here, Jan so close through the chicane, desperate to make a move on the final corner. Goes to the outside, can he make it stick? Oh, gets a bit squirrely and it's a drag race to the line. Oscar takes it. And as all the cars cross the line, your top three: Matthew, Lars, Thomas in 4th, Yanni 5th, Oscar 6th, Jan 7th, Sai 8th, Petri, Philip in 9th, just ahead of Jackson 10th, 11th, Gus, 12th, Mark, 13th, Miles, 14th, Grimwall, Simone in 15th, Joe in 16th, and Ben in 17th. Celebrations underway as Matthew goes over to his friend Oscar and picks him up. Great chivalry there amongst competitors. Congratulations to all. If you're watching this for the first time and you'd like to get involved, check out our link to the website and find a link to our Discord. See you there.